Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your August 2022 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about your month ahead. I will be doing some intuitive messages for you, followed by a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading on Patreon. So let's dive into it. So intuitively for Sag in the month of August, I feel that you are kind of bucking off some of the confines and some of the dense weight really strongly. Okay, so things that have been maybe holding you down, things that have been overpowering you or overwhelming you, I feel like you totally go into like that horse archetype and totally just like throw it off here. So there's a throwing off of heavy, dense energy coming in this month, kind of indicated by the Five of Wands in your reading, though this is totally just an intuitive message that I'm feeling for you. I think that you are in a greater cycle of doing that as well. I feel that most of the questions that you have right now, or most of the unanswered things that you might be facing, don't really have as much to do with the outcomes that they would get, whether they work in a yes or a no, or however these things turn out. What's most important is that you're not that influenced by them. Okay, so big life changes or big life decisions, the outcome of those decisions certainly has a large influence on us, but there's a major message coming for Sagittarius about having some type of concise path regardless of the outcome of some of these issues. So the sense of opportunism, okay, really being directed or pushed based on small turnouts or small outcomes is something I feel that's out of favor for your sign, or something that you might be having a larger karmic learning through. So you might do best, I think, here in August to have a general idea of where you're taking yourself, where the world is leading you, where you're moving towards, regardless of some of these seemingly big decision points that you might be facing here in August too. Basically, opportunism is not that wonderful right now, and the important stuff, the important goals, should not be based upon opportunistic outcomes of dense energies, basically, if that makes sense. Okay, it's a major testing point for the flexibility, or even the, what do I want to say, the steel nature, like the steel core of your goals, or the steel core of what you are prepared to do, regardless of some of these other life stories going on for you. So basically, it's just good to know what you want now and not be that movable within that. Okay. Also, as another intuitive message for you this month, you also don't have to push things that hard either. You've got the Empress, the Seven of Pentacles, the World, the Ten of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles. There's a huge majority of of energy that kind of represents letting things play out with their own momentum and you not interfering that much. So don't feel like you have to interfere that much. Don't feel like you have to push things or pressure things. You and Scorpio both this month, to me, it feels like you're really invested in like playing your cards or moving around the chessboard, and you don't have to do that now. Like, things are already in place. Things are already kind of working in momentum. There's also like not that much you can do about it all, or there's not like that much that you can really affect other than like matters of your own presence or matters of your own commitments to things. Of course, you always have control over that, but I wouldn't be open to any type of like, influencing of another person, or even themes of like manipulation or subterfuge does not really feel possible at all right now. You need to let things come to you, okay? You need to also see how things happen naturally without you trying to blow it up so much, you know what I mean? Without you trying to blow a lot of hot air into these situations, because that kind of puts you in this place where you're always having to energize everything, and you're always having to like put everything right, and that's exhausting. You need to really see what the truth of these matters are, and you need to see how they resolve themselves, and how they, with their own momentum, or these other people with their own choices without your influence, would have these things go down, because that tells you more about how to move forward than you kind of like fostering it all, or you like I don't know, just trying to will things. The will is very strong for you right now. Like you have major willpower, and I think that's good to know without you having to like exhaust yourself of that by influencing some of the things going on right now. One way or another, I think that you're going to get a wonderful windfall this month. You've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. Those three cards coming up could say that you could have like a raise, you could have a promotion, or your work life could get a lot more manageable now. And you could also receive more through an easier, more calm, more relaxed type of work environment. So again, that's kind of in alignment with the previous message. Like, don't overwork yourself. I would watch out for overworking, oversharing, overdoing, and blowing a lot of hot air again into things, because we have this Uranus-Mars North Node in Taurus quincunxing your energy. So what that can do is that can have you really gassing situations up or really investing so much into things unnecessarily, okay? So that is a big learning curve for a lot of people right now, is like, wow, I didn't ever have to gas this up this way. I didn't have to try this hard. I didn't have to push so hard because it was going to resolve itself naturally anyway. Let's talk about your week-to-week, Sag. Week number 1, the 7 of Pentacles rooted down by the 5 of Wands. So yeah, that's that conflict for you in the first week of August, and that's also when that transit is happening. So it's like, do I sit still and relax, or do I really try to like interfere? Do I really try to, get my will, channeling through other people or through other circumstances? It might kind of be both at the same time, but the rest of the reading leads me to believe that the 7 of Pentacles is better for you. And you want to channel this energy, this major hot air energy that you have, maybe in competitive sport or in something that's not consequential. That's what I usually say with 5 of Wands. It's better to do something physical that is safe and is not with a lot on the line to channel that excess energy, rather than channeling it into risky stuff, gambles, or even like arguments, fights, or relationship drama. How can you channel that energy in a healthier way? So I think Sagittarius is one of the most unchanneled signs right now. So there's a big question for your sign about like, what is a better way to channel this energy? Like, I really want this thing, or I want this turnout, or I want this to change, or I want to see this for myself. How can you channel these things in safe ways? I think that answer is there, but that's going to be for you to find out because it's different for everybody. Week number 2, the Knight of Pentacles rooted down by the World. So very big material change coming up for you. There's a change in circumstance here in the second week. There's a change in fortune. There's a change in material well-being. So some of you could finally be completing a certain goal within an industry. Some of you could come into some type of inheritance or some type of sell or something that helps you to change your material circumstance. But it's not just material. It's not just money. It's also like work put into something. All of the Pentacles court cards, especially the Page, the Knight, and the King, are very much about how much we work for what we get and how much we also have to energize it. Okay, so that's changing for you. Some of you aren't going to have to work as hard for what you get, and also other Sagittarians, it's not even about the amount of work, it's about what type of work it is, or it's about how sustainable is the work, how sustainable is the industry, how sustainable is the big picture of what you're doing. With the World, it's always a macro view. It's a zoomed out perspective. So Knight of Pentacles is, yes, about work ethic and material growth. So you're really getting a zoomed out perspective onto your material circumstances in that way. And I think that's going to be really healing. And I think for some of you, because of what's happening right now, you never have to even go through some of the difficulties that you were facing over the last few years relating to income, jobs, career, and stuff like that. So there's a big healing for you in that territory. Week number 3, the Empress rooted down by the Knight of Cups reversed. Again, it's reinforcing this passivity which isn't something that Sagittarius likes. Like, Sagittarius does not like passivity. Sagittarius does not like sometimes to rest or relax or let things come to them. Sagittarius is very active. It's very enthusiastic. But you are called here to maybe find enthusiasm within passivity or within allowing things to be what they are, not having to transform everything, not having to shift everything, and not having to talk about it either. So this is interesting, Sagittarius. You might be oversharing, okay? You might be sharing too much sensitive information with people who are like derailing your good plans or your good strategies. Sagittarius struggles with diarrhea of the mouth sometimes, okay? I know, harsh concept, but it is very well known that Sagittarius sometimes says things they didn't need to say, or can tend to exaggerate, or just like involve too many people in things that they don't need to know, like sharing your income with people, sharing your business deals with people who aren't involved in it, sharing, also paying for other people as well, paying for the whole party at the restaurant, sharing your income in that way, not even like sharing the amount, but just sharing, too much sharing. Sharing's a good thing. We get taught when we're children that sharing is a good thing, and it is. But I feel that you're in a window right now where you can attract detractors, and you can also have like parasites or people really leeching off of your strategies and even influencing you based on subtle reactions. So it's better to have this almost like feminine Empress energy alongside a more quiet benevolence. Ooh, I like that for you. Okay. It doesn't have to be so loud. It doesn't have to be so gregarious. You can actually really quiet things down here and heal through that, because you might even be like over energized through all the sharing or through all of the talking or all of the communication. It could be like draining you too. So it might be better to like pull out of the hapless or needless communication and get back to yourself, because you might like find answers in your mind there too. I find a lot of times that people who have to be talking to people all the time or have to be in constant communication or constant, and especially if you have Mercury in Sagittarius, this is very relevant, as many Sagittarians do. It's something that sign struggles with. It's like preventing your own internal answers by relying too much on the chatter of other people. It's a time, Sagittarius, for you to cultivate your own internal answers. Week 4, 2 of Cups reversed, you're down by 10 of Pentacles. Totally exactly what I'm talking about. You don't have to rely on that other person's input now. Like, it's your deal. It's your authority. It's your stuff that you have to really tend to here. And it's not something that can be answered by other people. And you'd be surprised about how many people are getting so much energy around you just by feeling like they're your advisor, or they're even in control of you, or they're like puppeteering you as well. Really watch out for this, Sagittarius. It's part of the negative archetype of Sagittarius, when the horse essentially gets like saddled up and bridled up and ridden by another person. So that, I think, is happening to some of you, or has happened very recently, and you can see it now. So it's time for you to maybe like buck off some of that bridal work and some of that constriction, okay? Because you have a big windfall coming through here, and you have a lot of resources now, and you don't need other people coming in and extracting those resources vicariously through you. That is always a potential with the Sagittarius archetype. Okay, Sagittarius, let's talk more about that in your extended reading on Patreon. I'm going to talk about how we can prevent that, how we can know if that's happening, and I'll get some more information as well as a Rose Oracle card to understand how you're growing, as we have this huge Taurus configuration coming in here, and I'm mixing it up a little bit this month, and I want to understand how we're connecting to the Earth archetype more. But that will be linked below and in the center of your screen. Have a beautiful month. Stay safe and stay independent, Sagittarius. Much love. Let's do that extended. Bye.